Hey, hi, hello guys, my name is Mia Marie and this video is all about what it means when your moon is conjunct your partner's Mars. So not only are they within 10 degrees of each other on the zodiac belt, but they're also in the same sign. Yes, you can have added sign conjunctions, but that's not what this video is about. That's a subcategory. So firstly, moon in someone's psyche represents their emotional temperament, their non-negotiables, the types of experiences and connections that they need to be having in order to feel fulfilled and secure and safe in the world, not only in their body, not only in their environment, in their relationships, but in life in its entirety. We cannot compromise when it comes to someone's moon. It is like the bottom, it is the foundation of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Everything hinges upon our need and desire to feel safe. The moon is the mother archetype, so it is the receptacle. Even if you have a moon in a fire or an air sign, you will still find that when someone is stimulating your moon, that you are more receptive to whatever it is that they're putting out. You suspend the need to do something straight away. You're more apt to listen. Then we have Mars. This is masculine, pure, sweaty, masculine energy in all of us. It wants to conquer, it wants to defend, it wants to know what is worth fighting for and what is worth protecting. It is a little careless when it comes to how we get what we want from time to time. Kind of like, all is fair in love and war type of behavior. And that makes it difficult for this relationship. I must say, the quality of this aspect largely depends on the level of self-awareness on both partners' behalves. Intellectually and emotionally, being able to honestly look in the mirror and take accountability for your own shit. Because the moon is a little unconscious, it's incredibly reactive, and Mars just doesn't really think about feelings. It's more about doing what needs to be done. In fact, Mars, from like the latent energy in someone's Mars placement, is I'm going to make you so uncomfortable that you will have to move. It's like you're sitting at a bonfire and you're like, oh, I'm sleepy. I don't really want to get up and go to bed. I might just sleep right here. And then your foot catches on fire. That's Mars energy. Like, it doesn't matter how tired you are. You're going to get up and do something about it. And so it's kind of like bringing fire to someone's heart. And this creates a lot of passion. It can be very sexy. The Mars person will look at the moon person and think, like, I lust for you. You are the perfect type of energy to receive me. Even if it's, it doesn't really matter what gender inhabits each side, although from a heterosexual cultural perspective, it is a lot easier for the woman to be the moon person and the man to be the Mars person. If that's the case, kind of piggybacking or continuing my example from before, the Mars man will look at the moon woman and think like, you are someone that I just want to impregnate. Conversations about having babies is also totally 100% normal, even if you guys have never thought about having kids in other relationships, because again, the moon is the receptacle, the womb. We're thinking about actual genitalia. It's the receptacle. And then Mars is the phallus. So impregnation. Hot, fiery sex is also something. We're emotionally involved. The Mars person, maybe not so much. We would have to look at what's happening with their moon also to see if they are emotionally engaged. But it is likely that the Mars person is able to arouse a very strong, honest, pure emotional response from the moon person. Now, there are some things to consider. If you have, say, Aries, moon in Aries, and you are in a relationship with someone who has a Mars in Aries, the conjunction that we're talking about, the moon person is at a disadvantage by default. The moon doesn't do well when it's in Aries. It struggles. But Mars does exceptionally well in Aries. And so in this specific example, you can often see like a narcissistic dynamic play out where the Mars person is literally stomping on someone's heart, making them cry. The moon person might want to talk about things. Let's sit down, let's talk, let's work this out. And the Mars person is frustrated. Your emotions get in the way of me doing what I want to do. And it's just the way that the Mars person behaves. They can almost manipulate or coerce the moon person into just still sticking with them. It feels like, in this particular dynamic, again, a very imbalanced, narcissistic relationship that can be difficult to pin because Mars wants to exploit. Like I said at the very beginning, it is relentless and it's careless. I will use you is kind of what Mars will say in Aries for personal gain. On the other hand, you can have a moon in Cancer and a Mars in Cancer. The moon does really well when it's in the sign of Cancer because Cancer is all about the yum yum factor, the nest, wanting to be the mother, but Mars does not do well in Cancer. I have Mars in Cancer. It's kind of like mama bear energy is what that gives. I will fight for my family. I will fight for emotional connection. And so in this example, the Mars person doesn't have really the ability to stomp on the moon person because Cancer doesn't stomp. It might throw a tantrum. It might cry. It might bleed out in like emotional manipulation. My piece of advice for the moon person is to be very honest with yourself about the way in which this person is treating you and engaging in your relationship, because the weakness here is that the Mars person will always trigger a very strong emotional reaction from you. And we can mistake stimulation for connection, love, and respect. Now, when I say it that way, you're like, wait, what? But how it manifests is when you're arguing, there is this overflow of emotions and you're thinking to yourself, I don't respond this way to other people. I must really care about you. This must be an important relationship in my life. And it's like, okay, cool. You're still getting talked down to. You're still getting trampled all over and used. The moon person often has the resources that the Mars person needs. In a healthy dynamic, this will be very much like stereotypical masculine feminine energy where they are a power couple and they're using their connectedness and their bond. The Mars person is aware of their agency and control and authority, and they do not exploit it or take advantage of the moon person. And the moon person lovingly, to no end, shows up for the Mars person, and they're able to make really strong power moves. So my advice for the Mars person, I did just kind of discuss it, is that you become aware of the way that you carry yourself, the way that your body communicates to somebody, being able to control that warrior inside of you. Self-discipline becomes very important. Like that's what immediately comes to my mind. Knowing who your alliances lie with, knowing where your allegiance is at, knowing what you're fighting towards ultimately will help you constantly trigger that fierce fighting energy towards something that is not someone that you love or someone that you're in a relationship with. So yeah, again, it depends on which way you guys decide to take it, but I do think irregardless of which way you go, hot, fiery sex, the Mars person will think about it as just like sweaty. They're kind of feeling good because they're getting all of these affirmations and like feedback from the moon person. The moon person will feel like they're being fucked to the soul. And then a discussion about kids. That's what I got for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and write them down in the comments. But until next time, toodles, guys. The moon person is likely infatuated with the Mars person. Like, that's my man's, that's my man's, that's my man's. And it creates an imbalance in the relationship, I think. The Mars person may do what they need to do or say what they need to say in order to keep that plug from the moon person because it feels so good to be supported, to be mothered, to be nurtured. That's another way that this relationship plays out, kind of. The moon person, instead of holding the Mars person, holding them accountable for being an equal, they will just baby them and kind of be that debilitating mother figure in their life, even if it is their partner. But the moon person feels like, damn, like that person is so sexy. They just get me all fired up.